So today I have a deck profile for something that isn't Kashtira, and you're gonna see some Kashtira cards, but this is a Tenpai Dragon deck profile. And the main reason I wanted to play this deck is because I was starting to get a little annoyed with Kashtira, and specifically its tendency to not be able to OTK after I shifter someone and then having him pass back and not being able to do anything. That said, I still feel like it's a good deck and I can perform well with it, but I'm most likely going to continue having it as my main deck, but this is something I wanted to try out. Tenpai Dragon is, I love playing hand traps. I know a lot of people don't like the hand trap wars, but I do. So I really enjoy playing a deck with a high hand trap count, and my biggest problem with Kashtira is the inability to OTK, and I feel like this deck had both of those. So with that said, this deck, as you can read from the title, is slightly budget. Some options you're gonna see, some cards I play you're gonna see might not be budget, and I'll explain what you can do instead if you want to play this more budget. But with that said, let's get started with the deck. The Tenpai engine is pretty standard, 3 Pydra. One of these I signed. It was a very dumb reason. I signed it because I wanted to know which one was the one I pulled, and now I can't sell it if I want to sell it. So that's great. Fun fact: the entire core I pulled from my Legacy of Destruction packs, entry packs, and my winners packs. So that's cool. That's the except for the Pydras. These 2 Pydras I bought. This one I pulled. But yeah, this is standard. You'll see this in every list, at least until the new guy drops, the new yellow Tenpai Dragon. Standard. And then we have terraforming and set rotation. If you guys seen my Kashtira profile, you know I play set rotation, and I'm playing in this deck set rotation as my consistency card over Magnamut, because I choose to also play in this deck a small Kashtira package, which is just Fenrir. And so I play 1 Raidsoth, 2 Fenrir. If I could have this at 3, this is a clean 40 deck. If I could have this at 3, I would. I'm considering just putting it in as the 41st card. But again, I do like seeing hand traps, and with 15, you'll see a lot of 2 of hand traps in one hand. So yeah, I'm not really sure if I want to do that yet. But I love Fenrir in this deck so much, especially because it's more budget and I'm not playing Trident Dragion. Fenrir makes it so much easier to get over things that you couldn't normally get over, and it's more attack. Again, it gets rid of a body. It's great. So Fenrir is a card that I'm happy that Tenpai players are putting in their deck. The set rotation give my opponent the Raidsoth, and give myself the Sangan summoning. The theory behind playing this instead of Magnamut is A, Magnamut conflicts with Fenrir, and B, you really want to see your field spell to protect from hand traps. So this is that extra consistency, that extra part that lets you see your engine in this deck. And yeah, it may not be as good of an interruption as Magnamut can be, but set rotation does hit things like Temple, Sangan Summoning, and other field spells. So I think it's the right choice to play set rotation instead of Magnamut, especially also Magnamut conflicts with Fenrir. So. And then 3 Pot of Prosperity. Again, I don't play Trident Dragion, but I'll show you what I do to ensure that I can win under that. And the other thing, if you can't play Fenrir, then I'd suggest either playing more hand traps, playing Magnamut, and replacing the last 2 cards with like 2 Lightning Storm, which is in the side, but you can move to the main and replace more cards, doing something like that. And then for the hand trap count, 3 Ash, 3 Mourner, 3 Veiler, 3 Ogre, 3 Imperm. Again, the reason I don't play Nib is because I don't want it to conflict with Fenrir. And also, I did see another list, and I was trying this out with 2 Ogre, 2 Mourner, 2 Bell. I gave that a whirl, and it was pretty okay, but I do like this hand trap count. Though, yeah, I'm gonna test back and forth with 2 Mourner, 2 Ogre, 2 Bell, and 3 and no Bell. But yeah, these are always gonna stay the same. And then lastly, for the non-engine, we have Forbidden Dropping. 3 Forbidden Dropping. This card is great, very skillful card. I'm happy that I get to play it because obviously I can't play it in cash. I mean, you can play it in cash, but back when I used to play cash, it wasn't a card, and now it's a card, and I finally get to use mine that I got from the Rarity Collection 1 so many months ago whenever it dropped. And yeah. Alright, for the extra deck, 2 Biden Dragion, 2 Transcendent Dragion, and that's it for the Dragions. No Trident because I can't afford it. I mean, I can definitely make the money to play it, but I don't want to go too crazy into this deck. If you can play it, definitely play it because it comes up sometimes. But instead of Biden, I just have a Dissipator, so I put that in. If you see a video by Nesh, I'll put it in the description below. You can still OTK through your opponent having somewhat of a board, and you can, if you make Dissipator, you can still get exactly 16,000 damage, which means you can kill through Prosperity. And so the theory behind this is, yeah, I don't play Trident, so if my opponent somehow survives, I at least have Dissipator for some sort of disruption. And yeah, that's it for the, that's not it for the level 10s actually, because the last card is Ruddy Rose. This is another good level 10. If you can't play Dissipator, I'd say just cut it, and then put in another card that I'll discuss later. But yeah, Ruddy Rose, good card. You make this against like Snake Eye, so you get rid of their follow-up in case you can't kill them. And yeah, so that's it for the level 10s and the Biden Dragion. And then our utility level 7s, we have these. This is supposed to be Moonlight. At first I played this card because I thought, okay, first Moonlight was more expensive, 16 bucks around, and this card is like $1. So I was like, oh, why don't people just play this? But the reason you don't play this is one of your biggest ways to win with Tenpai is to make the level 10 in the main phase. And if you do that, you'll have gone through Biden, and if you go through Biden, then you're dragon locked. So you can't make this if your opponent has a big body on the board, which is why Moonlight's better. So this should all be dragons. This is going out. I got a Moonlight already. Meteor Burst is good for the mirror match. Black Rose is another thing. If you just want to blow up the entire board, there's some bad stuff, do that. Qui Belt is good to just get rid of stuff on the board. And then for the links, we have 1 Seal, 1 Striker Dragon, and SP to Striker Dragon so that SP can banish something. Dual Little Chimera is my pseudo way. I got this from TCG Sam and a lot of other players. It's my pseudo way of playing under D barrier, which I have another way of playing under D barrier, but Dual Little Chimera, you just make it, and then all your fires are boosted by 500, so you can have Doolittle and you'll have your 3 other dragons on board, and it should be enough for game as long as you can deal with your opponent's board. Seals, if you can't play SP, then you'll also take out Striker Dragon. So real quick, the cards that you might not be able to afford, in case you want to really go budget on this and just focus on the Tenpai engine, are these guys. And what I do with these is I'd play 1 extra Seals, and I'd probably put in some sort of Nightmares, either Nightmare Unicorn and maybe Nightmare Unicorn IP, maybe Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, stuff like that. That's another way to play more budget. But yeah, I do that with this. And yeah, if I could play the Princess package, I would, but again, I'm trying not to break the bank with this deck. It's not my biggest concern. And then last card is Red Ice Flare Metal. You play Fenrir, you play a lot of level 7, so what you'll see with your board is you might not kill your opponent, but you'll have 2 level 7s left over, and then you just slap Flare Metal on, and just like when I play Kashtira, I'm not able to kill my opponent, I just make Flare Metal, and they have to out this card in 1 card. And that makes it very easy to win from there. So that's another way you can win through Prosperity.
And I was a little all over the place with what I was saying about if you want to go more budget. So I just showed it off here what you could do. And basically what I did was, if you can't afford the Fenrir and the SP and the Dissipator, what you could do is just take out the Wraith Soth and the 2 Fenrirs and replace them with Way Where There's a Will, which is a good going second card. It acts like Prosperity, and 2 Pankratops. Or you can also put in the 2 Lightning Storm, as I said in the video. That's also an idea. You could also put in Magnuma. You could take out set rotation in that case, just whatever you want. But this is just an idea that I was proposing. And for the extra deck, I couldn't really figure out what to put in, but you definitely want to double up on the seals. And then maybe you could put in Hida. And then I also just put in a Nightmare there just to signify, oh, there's a Nightmare. And also, if Moonlight's out of your budget, you can definitely play that Cyber's Quantum Dragon. But keep in mind that it does conflict with Biden Dragon. So I'd say it might be worth putting in the Moonlight Dragon, though many players don't even go into that package.
And yeah, that's it for the deck. And now the side deck, we play 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Feather Duster. Again, if you don't want to play Fenrir, you can put these in the main. You can put these 2 in the main. Maybe 3 if you don't want to play Magnamut. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. 3 Shifter. It's kind of hard to OTK under Shifter if you don't have Trident Dragon. And in my testing, I haven't had that issue yet. I haven't even put Shifter in my testing, so I need to see how it conflicts and if it becomes too much of an issue. And if it does indeed become too much of an issue, then I think I'll just replace this with Bell or DD Crow, something like that. And then for the going first cards, 2 Dimensional Barrier, 1 Kawakimaru Draco, and 3 Crossout Designator. So Crossout is my way of playing through D-Barrier, since I don't play the Link package, so I'll just put in Crossout. Whenever post side, I'll put in Crossout, just Crossout D-Barrier, and I'll include D-Barrier if I think I'm going first. I'll put D-Barrier and Kawakimaru Draco into certain matchups. So the theory with this deck is if I'm playing against certain decks like Branded, Voiceless, Melodious, decks that put up lights and darks, I'll opt to go first if I lose, and I'll put in 2 Dimensional Barrier and Kawakimaru Draco. These cards are interruptions, but I have to draw them, and Kawakimaru Draco is just straight. If I have Seals and I activate Seals, Tribute, and Special Summon this, then my opponent just can't play the game. And that's pretty cool sometimes. And Crossout Designator, again, D-Barrier, Ash. If Ash on the Sangan Kaiman is pretty deadly, so yeah. The theory with this deck is, how can I play this deck and win in a budget fashion? And so that's why I play the Crossouts. That's why I play the Flare Metal and the Dissipator and all that. So if you guys have any other suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. If you give this deck a try, let me know how it goes. And with that said, hopefully I can get some gameplay out of this deck. I want to take it to locals at some point and see how I do with it. And yeah, that's it for me. Take care.